Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy Big Bain in this thing, and you guys guessed it, another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. So let's get right to it. All right, boom, over on the dollar, guys. All right, so on Friday we swept Thursday's low, but we closed inside of Thursday's candle, so there's no real telling where the dollar is going to go, just based off of that. But from the structure that we see, guys, we have a downtrend structure. All right, so we have a high, we went and made a low, breaking this low. All right, price pushed down, broke that low massively, and then all of this was the retracement. Now you can see we haven't really touched supply yet, and if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see that we still have that possibility. All right, so I am expecting the dollar to push up, now that the market is pretty much open. It's not open for the dollar just yet, but the Forex market is open, and I expect the dollar to push up into supply, possibly even a little bit above it, maybe at this supply area. All right, before we potentially get a drop on the dollar. All right, so looking for a move, something like this, getting into this supply and then dropping like this, right? Or we probably push up and get into, so from here again, getting into this supply area, right? And then starting to do the dance all the way down until we get to that swing low. All right, so on the dollar, I am temporarily bullish, all right, and then I'm bearish overall. Once we get to these supply areas. This week we have a lot of economic news for the dollar starting on Tuesday. All right, we have core retail sales, and then Wednesday we have unemployment and non-farm employment change. All right, and then Thursday we have unemployment claims. All right, and then Friday we have CPI. So starting on Tuesday all the way to Friday, we will have pretty much a blockbuster week on the dollar. All right, guys, so bearish on dollar, but after it pushes up into supply, and then I'm expecting the drop. All right, over to the JPY. All right, so the JPY has fallen. It has swept this liquidity sitting right above this demand area. So I expect the JPY to start rising, but I have a feeling that we may go and take out this low here before we start our rise. All right, so temporarily bearish on the JPY, but definitely overall bullish on the JPY, as I can see us easily going to take out this high, because we had the change from down, right, to up with this break. All of this was the retracement, the pullback, or the correction, and that correction could be over, right? We could start when the market opens, we could just jump right up and start to rise on the JPY. But because we closed lower than Thursday, on Friday we could still possibly come out the gate falling before we get that rise up. All right, so on the JPY, again, just looking at it really quick from the higher time frame to give you guys a better visual, right? You can see, right, that we have just a massive push down on Friday. So like I mentioned, we can probably start to push down a little more, but all I'm really expecting is a sweep of demand, or just a further push down, and then we'll start to rise and head up on the JPY. So my team is looking to sell majority of the JPY pairs, as you can see, NZD JPY, right, and all the JPY pairs that we have here. We're looking to sell those. Right, again, those pairs may push up first, right, before they drop, so watch out for that as the market opens. But long term, right, for the week, they should fall. All right, moving over to odd dollar, and I am bullish on the odd dollar. All right, the candle that we have on Friday definitely broke above the high on Thursday, right, and it even as it stands right now, the market just opened, and you can see that it's already open a little higher, and it's probably going to continue to push higher to take out the previous week high, possibly even getting to the swing over to the left that we can see on the higher time frame, like the weekly. All right, when we look at it from a bird's eye view. All right, so definitely can get a nice push up on the odd dollar, possibly even getting above this high, because the dollar is very bearish. All right, so like I mentioned, when the dollar does its fall, most likely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can see the odd dollar just continuously push up to, you know, target any of these highs that we see here to the left. All right, so for the odd dollar, I am bullish. All right, moving over to euro dollar. All right, and looking at this on the daily. All right, my team has already bought this. All right, so we had our break right here, price pushed up, made the new high, and then price retraced all the way here. Now I still feel like we're going to get just a little bit of a drop into this demand area, all right, before we take the rise. All right, so watch out for that. But again, that's just a temporary sweep of sell side liquidity, and then from there we'll be headed up to grab buy side liquidity on euro dollar. All right, I'm bullish. GU, all right, same exact thing, except we did not close above Thursday's high. We closed inside, but we took out the low of Thursday. So pound dollar can push down just a little bit, right, maybe halfway of this Friday candle, and then from there we'll go to take out the high. All right, I'm bullish on pound dollar. New Zealand dollar, same exact thing. On Friday we took out Thursday's high as well as the low, and now we've already opened higher, right? But I expect price to push down a little bit and then start to rise on New Zealand dollar. So I'm bullish on New Zealand dollar. Looks like it wants to go right now. All right, dollar CAD, right? So Friday we swept the low of Thursday and we closed within the range, so there's really no telling what it wants to do at the moment. But because the dollar looks like it wants to rise, I can see it potentially going to take out the previous week's high, right, and maybe even tap into this FEG that it has. All right, tap a little deeper into that FEG, but you guys can see that we are definitely very bearish on dollar CAD. Right, so just a deeper push into that fair value gap, and then I'm expecting price to drop to take out this particular new low. All right, so I'm bearish on dollar CAD. All right, over to dollar CHF, same exact thing. We broke this low, made the new low. All of this is the correction or the retracement, right, back into these key points of interest, which again we have a huge another huge fair value gap sitting right in that area. Okay, so I'm expecting price to push up into that fair value gap, and then I'm expecting it to fall again, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, pending, you know, whatever the data shows for the economic news on the dollar. All right, over to dollar JPY, and again I told you guys I'm expecting the JPY to rise, even though initially it may fall a little more, right, but deeper into the week we should see the JPY index rise, in which we should see USD JPY fall, right, and that also lines up with the dollar being bearish right after it does its potential rise, right? So I'm expecting dollar JPY, it's already swept the liquidity of Thursday and Friday's high, and it's already pushing down lower, so that, you know, makes me feel like JPY may not go down, it may just go up right out the gate. But you know, we got to give it some time to play out and see what it will do. But I do kind of expect a little bit of a push up to the supply, right, and then from there we'll have a major opportunity to sell it, as it would have mitigated that supply zone, and then you know, the bears would or should, you know, show up from that area. All right guys, so I'm bearish on UJ, but again, temporarily bullish. But once we hit supply, definitely bearish. That may not happen, and we may just drop right now, right? Which is obviously, a possibility, and there's 500 pips on the table for whoever wants it. All right, bearish on dollar JPY. All right, moving over to pound odd, and on Friday we swept the low of Thursday, and we closed below the low. So now we're taking out the low of Friday. Right now, pound odd has a 34 pip spread. This is why you do not trade right when the market opens, because the spreads are horrendous. All right, but because we closed lower on Friday and now we're getting the low of Friday swept, we could potentially start to head up. But it just really means that price wants to fall lower. All right, so watch out for maybe a potential retracement up and then a continuation to the downside. All right, so temporarily bullish on pound odd, but then bearish. All right, definitely still want to see how this candle closes for the day. If it closes outside, then we're definitely heading more down, but if it kind of rejects and closes back within, we could be headed up. All right, but for now it's still very, very bearish on pound odd. All right, pound CAD. All right, so on Friday it looks like we closed as an inside bar to Thursday, and we're still consolidating, so there's no real telling what pound CAD wants to do right now. If I look at this just from the market structure is very, very choppy. It can go either way, up or down, and to be honest, I'm just not quite sure what it wants to do at this very moment. So I'll be leaving pound CAD alone for now until I can see some clearer market price action on the chart, and then I'll make a decision. All right, over to pound CHF. And again, another inside bar on Friday to our Thursday's candle, so we don't really know where it wants to go, but as of right now it's trying to push up, but just doesn't look too convincing of either direction, so no strong bias on pound CHF for now. All right, we'll come back to it later in the week. All right, GJ. All right, so you guys already know that I expected to push up, potentially taking out this previous week's high, and then from there we'll be looking to sell it, as we're looking to sell all of the JPY pairs. All right, so I'm bearish on GJ. All right, pound New Zealand. All right, so we swept Friday's or Thursday's low on Friday, and we're basically sitting at that same low right now. So there's a lot of consolidation that's been going on for maybe a week or more on pound New Zealand. So I really want to see a breakout of either Friday's low or Friday's high and the previous week high before I make a decision, because right now it just seems to be just going up and down between a week or so worth of candles. All right, so very heavily consolidated on pound New Zealand, and no way to tell which way it really wants to go for now. All right, so just a little bit more waiting, and then we'll be able to determine what's what. All right, over to silver. All right, I guess you guys can see I'm bullish on silver. All right, we came down right to a nice support area, rejected it, and now we're starting to push higher on the charts. And when you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, you can see it looks very, very lovely for that continuation to the upside after it made this major correction from a heavy move up on silver. All right, so silver is one of our go-to plays for the week. It will definitely get you paid, but I am bullish for sure on silver. All right, moving over to gold, and the same thing here. All right, if we go back to the daily time frame, you guys will see that we swept the low of Thursday, as well as tapped into this point of interest, which is kind of like a support area. Right, and look at that major wick that we got. It looks like Monday, right? So Monday we got the rejection, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we stayed up on gold, right? And because it swept Thursday's low and it closed higher, right, we can expect gold to continue rising. First thing it's going to do is take out Friday's high, right? And then it's going to go to take out the previous week high, and then possibly get to this swing high by the end of the week. All right, especially with the dollar looking to fall, I am super bullish on the metals, right? Gold and silver. So look for your opportunity to buy, and you probably be pretty happy with that. All right, moving over to natural gas and a lot of consolidation. Don't really know again which way to go. For now, I need to wait a little more. It's very close to sweeping the previous week's low. There is some imbalance here as well as imbalance here, so we could see natural gas continue to fall, right? But it could also just sweep the low and then start to rise. So we need to be very careful, trying to take a trade on natural gas until it gives us more information. All right, so right now stuck between a rock and a hard place, not doing much. But once it gets out of that, whether it's to the low or the high, we'll be able to finally have more of a bias to make a decision. All right, moving over to US oil. All right, we swept the low of Thursday and we closed inside, so I do expect us to continue going higher on oil to take out Friday's high as well as the previous week high, and then this swing high that you see here from 63 to roughly 66, which is a $3 move, which is 300 pips on oil. All right, I'm bullish. Over to SPY. All right, so SPY has broken above Thursday's high, right? So I expect SPY to keep rising, and it is very close to the previous week high to take that out. So I'm expecting SPY to rise, guys. All right, I'm bullish on SPY. Right, on US 30, I'm sorry, on NAS. All right, it is basically swept the low, swept the high and the low of Thursday, right? And looks like it can just kind of continue rising. A little mixed because again, we are in a bit of a fair value gap here to the downside, so respecting it for now, but it could very well change if it happens to get above that, right? If it happens to break above that high, we can see NAS continue to rise a little bit more. But for now, it's a little bearish, right? It's a little bearish. We got the nice break of this low, made the new low, and we retrace back to our point of interest, which is this fair value gap. And again, it's beneath it for now, so who knows? We may get the drop. All right, but looking at the dollar potentially falling, the indices typically rise in that regard, and there is possibility for that on NAS, but it is also, again, just at the moment, very bearish. So we got to wait a little more to see what's what, and then we'll be able to take advantage. All right, moving over to US 30, last but not least, and we broke all of this, right? So this was a whole lot of consolidation right up in this particular zone or area, and then we finally broke above it. So that is a major liquidity sweep to the upside, and because of that, I am bearish just for trying to catch the potential retracement, which would probably be half of this candle. So we'll come down and get maybe halfway before we continue to rise. But this is definitely bullish, right? Major bullish engulfing candle for that daily Friday candle, right? From everything that we've seen here. So we can just have some sort of pullback and then a continuation up. But seeing if we can catch that pullback is going to be what we're looking at initially. But then once it gets to a point of interest on the lower time frame, like the 2 hour, right, you guys can see major imbalance all the way down. So I do expect some sort of drop on US 30 initially, right? But then from there we should get the rise back up. All right, so bearish temporarily and then bullish on US 30. All right, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. enjoy the Super Bowl. Right, welcome to February. All right, and let's see if we can make it better than January. All right, but in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.